My name is Nicola Miller. My pronouns are she, her. I'm currently based in Chester Basin, and my artistic discipline is saxophone, jazz, free improvisation, and composition.
Is there a person, place, or event that drew you to saxophone or music in general?
I started saxophone in grade 6, mostly just because I didn't want to be like everybody else, and everybody else in the class was playing the flute or the clarinet.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be different, and always really loved jazz, so played that kind of all through high school and then studied jazz, but more along the traditional lines. And then I studied a master's in Berlin. And when I was there, I got really interested in the free improvisation scene. And I studied with a man named Frank Grakowski, who was hugely important to me, a wonderful mentor, and really helped steer me in the direction of free improvisation, making weird sounds on the saxophone. And the scene in Berlin for that kind of music is just incredible.
Was it scary to let go of the control of improvisation in that way?
For me, that was the less scary part. I have struggled with performance anxiety quite a lot. So I used to have, panic attacks on stage. And again, Frank really helped me to move past that. And in the free improvisation sense, it was kind of like, as long as you're listening and you're being true to yourself and thinking compositionally, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And more things are accepted that are not typically beautiful or.
Yeah. So where do you find your inspiration? Like, where do the seeds of your ideas start?
I consider my approach to composition as cellular. So it's about starting from the smallest structural unit, which is what the Living Things project was based on. And in that case, it was based on starting from cells that were derived from living things. So I live in Chester Basin, where there's a lot of wildlife and we're right close to the ocean. So I would just go for walks and see something or hear something that would inspire the pieces. So once it was some seagulls fighting, and I just took a field recording of it and slowed it down, transcribed it basically, and then put it in my own form. Another time it was these bufflehead ducks that come in the wintertime and feed.
Yeah.
And they travel slowly in a group, but who is in front and behind shifts continually. And then one duck will dive under, and then shortly after the rest will dive under. So I made a piece. The pitches and the rhythms were derived from the groupings of ducks that I saw. And then we all played a melody in unison, but we could speed up and slow down ahead of each other or behind of each other. And then at any point, one player could cue an improvisation by essentially being this duck that dove under, and then we would go into an improvisation based on texture and sounds, not pitch.
Outside of the things you need for like your instruments and things like that in your space, I'm gonna assume it's nature that you need.
The last album that we just recorded that will be released next year, I suppose, is all based on speech. I was mentioning to you earlier, we're here at Ramblers, and I had a recording of a gig once that I left the recorder on and accidentally recorded a conversation some people were having. So I used that, transcribed it for one of the pieces on the upcoming album that's called Drummers Are Bad. And it's these women talking about dating drummers. So I've just transcribed the rhythms and the pitches. And
I love it.
Yeah.
How much would you say your emotional state impacts the music that you're coming up with?
Practicing, especially, and composing, I find really help me regulate myself emotionally. And without it, it's much more difficult. It's a bit of a meditational process where I just play and think purely about what the thing is that I'm doing, and it helps clear the clutter.
Well, congratulations on your award, and it was a pleasure getting to know more about you and your process.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to me.